minutes in the game and built a 27-11 lead with 10 minutes into the game. But the Iowa Hawkeyes came back, reestablished control in the second half, and went on to the victory. And they won both games in this series last year. Iowa in the home whites, Northwestern in the purple jerseys. Good to have you with us for the second half of our doubleheader. Boy, Penn State impressive in the first game with that win over Ohio State, and the opening tip controlled by the Iowa Hawkeyes. Jeff Horner, Brody Boyd, and Pierre Pierce, basically a three-guard offense, and then Jared Reiner, the center, and Greg Bruner, the forward.
Northwestern starts man-to-man, and already Iowa looking to get the ball inside. It is going to be so important today for Northwestern to be able to play defense and play it without the foul.
Vince Scott picks up the first foul of the ball game. He fouled out of the game at his initial start of his career at Michigan the other night. There's a look at the matchups as you see them, and it'll be interesting to see how Northwestern handles Jared Reiner, because the Iowa just started getting Reiner involved a little bit more inside of that victory over Purdue the other night. Reiner had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists in that game. And Reiner starts by missing a pair at the line. Vince Scott the rebound for Northwestern. TJ Parker and Mohamed Ashad, the backcourt for Northwestern, they have really struggled of late. Here's Ashad. Jatim Young plays on the wing. Picked up by Pierre Pierce, Iowa's best perimeter defender.
You know, Northwestern's guard situation is really tough. Their struggle right now is in their heads, mentally. They need a good game to get their confidence going, and I think in order for Northwestern to have a chance here today, their guards are going to have to break out. Jatim
Young getting to the lane. Beautiful move, couldn't quite finish it. Hawkeyes have numbers if they want it. Pierre Pierce on the pull-up and throws it away. Vedran Bakusic ahead to Jatim Young, and one.
Now, Wayne, that's an easy basket, and it came off of defense. It's a transition opportunity. Northwestern, not a really running team, but in opportunities like that where they can get the turnover and get down the floor quickly, they give themselves a chance to get baskets that they don't have to work real hard for. Beautifully done, the strong Jatim Young protecting the basketball and a three-point chance.
There's no question he's strong, Greg. I think you had an operable word earlier, or a term earlier for Jatim Young. You kind of wish he had a few extra inches, because he's got that kind of a mentality. He's got a 6'9", 6'10" mentality.
He's got a 6'9", 6'10" heart.
Yes, he does. It certainly does. And a 6'2" body. Pierce blocked on the drive down the lane. Here comes TJ Parker. Northwestern's on the run. Parker, the quick pull-up, and that will help his confidence.
How about that? Northwestern getting out, running the basketball, scoring in transition, their first 2 field goals, and both times coming off solid defense.
Exactly. That's the key there. They're going to run off of defense. Rest of the game, Bill Carmody wants to long possessions offensively. Make Iowa guard somebody, shorten the game in that regard. Northwestern will also show a lot of zone defense.
And they're showing it now. So they're varying it up and forcing Iowa to have to adjust.
Pierce penetrates. Nice speed baseline. Bruner on the reverse.
Just good patience by Iowa. Normally when you think of Iowa, yeah, they'll take some outside shots, but they have been eschewing that to a large degree, especially early in this Big Ten season, making a conscious effort of getting it inside where they have been able to pound people.
Bakusic on the block. Scott outside. Northwestern's big men have to hit that shot. They must be a threat out of the top of the key. Reiner, beautiful delivery inside. He stays right with it.
That was very poor transition defense that time by Northwestern. Northwestern has to make sure that they get back, because they can ill afford to give easy baskets to Iowa.
Parker off the screen. Iowa not going to extend that defense a whole lot. Steve Alford talking to his squad last night. They're going to try to take away that backdoor cut. The farther out they come, the quicker the backdoor opens, as it almost did there for Jatim Young. TJ Parker hits a triple.
Well, he likes this arena. He was part of that huge barrage last year that helped Northwestern get that big lead early. I like the fact, too, that they got the ball inside. Jatim Young did not force it, kicked it back outside, and that bought the outside shooter a little extra time.
Jatim Young picks up his first personal foul on the other side.
The way Northwestern is playing right now is smart, conducive to winning. If they can maintain this, both ends of the floor, throughout the course of this game, they give themselves an excellent chance.
Steve Alford in his 5th season here as the Iowa head coach. This is one of his deepest teams at Iowa. They got numbers. Bruner. And that's an offensive foul. Vakusic, a very good job, not only of getting there to the spot first, Greg, but then accentuating it with a little acting.
Oh, yeah. He got himself squared up beautifully. As I said a moment ago, the way Northwestern is playing right now, both ends of the floor gives them a chance. Notice this crowd. You don't hear from them. They're on their seats. You'd like to keep them that way.
Bill Carmody would like to hear that kind of a crowd here today. Quiet one. That would mean his team is doing well. Parker looking to penetrate a bit again. Iowa will stay back and try to eliminate the backdoor cuts and the penetration. Parker on the drive, and he was out of control. Offensive foul.
Right. You can't have that. Your margin of error, if you're Northwestern, is slim. And you don't want to force things. You got 35 seconds on that shot clock. Utilize it all. No need to force it. Move the basketball. Eventually, an opening will occur for you.
Opening 4 minutes of play. Northwestern's had the better of it so far. Mike Henderson in the game now for the first time this afternoon for Iowa. Number 35 with the ball right there. Henderson, very quick point guard. Corner moves to the off-guard spot.
Good patience by Iowa as well.
Henderson left unattended from the outside. Reiner collects the rebound. In this game, he has the wingspan of a 7'47".
3 offensive rebounds so far for Iowa, so they're doing a good job of pounding the offensive window.
Oh, nice, clever feed. Reiner into Bruner on the cut.
That was really nice. First, Bruner posting up, locking his man on his backside, and the beautiful bounce pass from Reiner that only Bruner was going to be able to catch.
Northwestern by 2 early going. Vakusic at the back door to the fall-away. Tough shot, but he was able to get it to go. First from the field for Bentron Vakusic. Vakusic almost a steal on the wing. And we've got a break. 15:09 left to go first half. Reiner, clever pass to Bruner inside for 2.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses and the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new powered Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Meet the king.
Doug?
Yes. The queen.
Shut up!
And the father.
Hello, darling. It's your daddy.
Weeknights at 9 and 10. Get 2 doses of a king. One at 9.
One makes me go like this.
And another at 10.
The other one like this.
So how's that sound?
All great all the time.
The King of Queens. Weeknights at 9 and 10 on Channel 26, The U.
This ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big Ten Conference. Cooper Tires don't give up a thing. Pontiac, fuel for the soul. And by Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. Advance Auto Parts.
Northwestern leading in the early going. Time now for the Pontiac. Keys to the game. Greg?
Well, for Northwestern, we've got to hear from Parker and Hashad. And then defending the paint area, which they've done a pretty good job of thus far, is critical. Now for the Iowa Hawkeyes, utilizing that interior strength and being patient enough to get the ball inside is very important. And then defending the three-point line, because Northwestern will hoist quite a few.
Early going on the boards, Iowa. 2 offensive rebounds. They've got 4 second chance points.
Hey, Wayne, let me get this stat in while I can. Northwestern 6-2 in the paint.
You felt like you had to hustle that in, didn't
Yes,
you?
indeed.
You couldn't be patient with that one. Northwestern working much harder on defense than they did at Michigan. Horner connects from the outside.
Oh, Horner comes into the game shooting just 28% from outside, but you can't let him stand and hoist without a hand in his face.
Vukusic, they drawn to the left hand.
That's nice.
More points in the paint for Northwestern.
Hey, Vukusic had a 4-game stretch in December where he averaged nearly 24 a game, so he is fully capable, and I think they need to work to get the ball inside to him and let him use that quickness.
Brody Boyd has struggled with his shot of late, and we've got a foul coming up. And it's going to be, I believe, on Reiner. Reiner clearing out down low on the rebound.
Once again, we get a look at number 11, Vukusic. And very nicely done with the left hand.
I think we'll see them try to set that up a little bit more. It's not what you think of when you think of Princeton offense, Greg. You think of big people out on the perimeter, back doors and guards cutting and that type of thing. But this kid has some good ability on the block, and I think they'll try to exploit that as the season goes along.
Right now, Northwestern's offensive attack has balance, and it's not predictable. That's giving them a chance right now.
Vukusic from the outside, good-looking shot. Hashad hustles the rebound. Tolich is in the ball game now, and the three-pointer by Vukusic. He's got 7.
There's balance again. A moment ago, it was Vukusic inside. This time, it was Vukusic outside. Now it's Vukusic picking up the foul, and not a very good foul high out on the floor from your big guy.
Ivan Tolich is in the ball game for the first time this afternoon for Northwestern, trying to defend on Sandelighter down low, and he's guilty of a foul. Something that Bill Carmody's group could ill afford is foul trouble, and they were in foul trouble almost immediately at Michigan the other night.
Of course, Michigan's so athletic. That's a program that is clearly on the ascent.
And Tommy Emiker may have that thing turned around. Hashad, the pickpocket of Brody Boyd. Tried to get it to Jatim Young, and let's see, it's going to belong to Iowa. Tipped off the back of the backboard, last touch by Northwestern. So a missed opportunity there, and Bill Carmody knows it. Crowd trying to get into it a little bit now. Glenn Worley is in the game, number 4 with the ball right now for Iowa. He is an X factor for this Hawkeye team, according to Steve Alford. Pierce was pushed on that play. And the foul is on Jatim Young. It's his second. 6 already on the Northwestern Wildcats. There's a look at the foul situation. Worley looking inside. Pierce wanted to post up. Horner penetrates. Knocked out of bounds. Bailed out by the Wildcats, who touched it last. Worley from the outside. Vukusic, the rebound, lost it to Sandelighter.
Gotta have that one.
Brody Boyd hits his first triple of the day.
The worst possible scenario for Northwestern. You have a rebound in your hand that you can't clamp down on. You lose it, and then your opponent hits a 3.
Tolich out high. T.J. Parker, Northwestern's lead is 3. The shot hoists a 3 and doubles the lead.
Now that'll give him a lot of confidence, I think.
Exactly.
Just getting that first shot down. Hashad has done other things in this game well. He's been good defensively. He's rebounded a couple.
Ring it up for Horner, his second triple.
Hey, Iowa may not have gotten any threes to go down against Purdue, but clearly it is still a major part of their arsenal.
They've got 3 already. There's the back cut by Parker. Nice find from Tolich.
It's a good game so far. Very competitive.
Northwestern is competing on both sides, and that's something that disappointed Bill Carmody at Michigan. He didn't feel his team competed on the defensive side of the floor. And for a coach, there's no excuse for that.
Exactly.
And he stepped out of bounds. Pierce ran out of real estate. And a timeout on the floor. Watch this little Princeton offense here. Parker lost his man on the back cut for 2.
Advanced Auto Parts. No matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price. We're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Explain the bottle again.
Well, I fill it with authentic Guinness draft.
Brilliant!
Then we walk outside.
Yes.
Bring it to a party.
Yes.
And then we drink it.
Drink beer at a party? Brilliant! What else you working on?
Remember how I used to open the bottle?
Yes.
Well, I've devised a gadget that does it for you.
Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness draft straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant!
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new power of Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Greg Keltzer, let's go back to that last Northwestern score. A great illustration of Bill Carmody basketball.
Yeah, look at T.J. Parker being overplayed by Jeff Horner. So what does he do? Gives him a nice out move and then a back cut and a wide open basket. Everything was in play there for Northwestern. They had floor spacing, they had people movement, and then that nice fundamental bounce pass.
And then again, the big man at the top of the key passing the basketball. That's what that offense is all about.
Wow, look at the shooting percentage. Both teams impressive, but Northwestern especially so.
And you're right, they're getting much better balance because a lot of Northwestern's offense comes from the arc, and that just isn't healthy. You can't make a living out there.
No.
Mikusic had it tipped away, knocked out of bounds. Still 13 to go on the shot clock for the Wildcats.
Iowa continues to go man-to-man defensively, whereas Northwestern has varied it about 50% zone, the other 50 man-to-man. I think it's helped.
Seacat's first triple of the day off the heel of the rim. And got a foul coming up. I believe it's on Jatim Young. If it is, that's his third already.
Wow. Man, they can ill afford to lose him. Especially when you consider the fact that they're lacking depth. But to have your best player, your toughest player perhaps, leave at this stage of the game.
It's on Tolich, not Jatim Young.
Yeah.
Good thing is right.
Yeah. And with that in mind, however, Young needs to be careful out there. He needs to be very careful. He's an aggressive player, but he may have to temper it just a bit to stay out on the floor.
So at the free throw line, Sean Sonderleiter, and it was his play in the second half, especially on the boards against Purdue, that sparked Iowa's rally to victory. It was a hotly contested game, about 3 minutes gone by, second half, and then the Hawkeyes began to pull away from the Boilermakers.
I think it is such a huge advantage when you can begin your conference play with your first 2 games at home. In Iowa, man, it's been a long time since they've lost a home opener.
And there's also a certain amount of pressure to that, too. If you come out and you go 0 for 2, all of a sudden you've got 2 less home games, and you're trying to make up ground on the road.
Oh, yeah. It can work both ways.
Yeah. If you win the 2 home games, it's a great thing. That's what the Hawkeyes are trying to do here today. 7 to go on the shot clock. Bakusic got a good look at it. Corner of the rebound for Iowa.
I like the possession, though, because they took time off the clock. They moved the basketball around, got a decent shot, but it wasn't hurried, it wasn't early, and that's the way that Northwestern has to play to give themselves a chance.
Pierce elevates for 3. Seacat there for the rebound of the weak side. Northwestern by 4. Scott mishandled for a moment and then traveled. Parker says, hey, you got to expect that pass.
He's right. Yep. He's right. Parker handed Scott a layup. Iowa dodging a bullet in a sense there. And now the crowd trying to implore the Hawkeyes to get it going. They really haven't had a whole lot to cheer about in this game.
They haven't put together a run yet. Sonderleiter. Tough catch, Horner.
That was a super catch and good movement off the ball by Horner. And how about Sonderleiter? In this game, we've got big people out front passing down low to little people, and it's working.
Yeah, absolutely. Both sides. Kusic, quick delivery into Young. Will they reload? Nope. Jim trying to post Pierce.
Hey, if you can be patient and handle the basketball without the turnover, you really help yourself in a game like this. Northwestern's doing that.
Watch the last catch by Horner.
Here's Sonderleiter, and here's that fastball that Horner is able to get a glove on and convert.
Off the ball a moment ago. Glenn Worley picks up the foul, his first. Only the 4th on the team. Young penetrates. Seacat at the arc. A kick by Horner. They reload the shot clock.
This is so good because if you're Northwestern, you know, you just want to stay in a game like this. And the more time that can come off that clock and you're in it and you're giving yourselves a chance in the latter stretches of the waning stages of the game, hey, you can't ask for any more on the road. They're doing what they need to do right now to have that chance.
The last 3 games, Northwestern opponents are averaging about 85 points a game. Tim Young's fall away there, it's short. They can't win a game played at that level. Right. At halftime the other night in Michigan, the Wolverines had 40-some points, and that was a horrible sign for Northwestern.
Right, and we're shooting almost over 70% from the floor.
Pierce stayed right with it, got a block from behind by Bakusic the first time, went right back up to get his first 2 points of the game.
A moment ago, Iowa showed a zone for the first time in the game. Now they're back man-to-man.
Young, the pull-up. Suddenly, Northwestern is cold, and here come the Hawkeyes with their first run of the game. Worley deep underneath. And the Wildcats have numbers. Seacat. They don't draw him up that way, but it works.
They certainly don't draw him up that way for Seacat. Most of his shots are three-pointers.
Pierce. And this is a pace that Northwestern cannot afford.
And I think Bill Carmody's going to talk about that. Or at least he's motioning to his guys right now to understand that fact. Pace is important. They've hurried their last 2 or 3 shots. Took them early on the shot clock. And that's not to their advantage.
Seacat. A good look at it deep from the screen, off the screen by Scott.
Wayne, of Seacat's last 35 shots, 29 have been from three-point land.
He does live out there. Worley inside. Got it to go. Nicely done. Good feed from the perimeter, Sonderleiter.
Yeah, I like what Worley's giving them off the bench. Back from the hand injury, the wrist injury that caused him to miss games in December. Started 26 games for them last year.
Back cut, Parker. Blocked on the play, Worley. Sensational recovery. Iowa Iowa's on a 12-4 run. Worley gives up the 3. Sonderleiter can't make it for 2, and he's guilty of the offensive foul. First on Sean Sonderleiter, 5th on the team. He pushed off on the drive to the bucket.
Nice pass inside by Worley, who continues to give the Hawkeyes a lift off the bench.
Hawkeyes enjoy the lead with 7:03 to go in the half.
This is Bob. Bob is doing well. Very well indeed. That's because not long ago, Bob realized that he needed something better in his life. And what did he get? Why, a big boost of confidence, a little more self-esteem, and a very happy missus at home. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement. This is Bob. Bob is playing well. That's because not long ago, Bob decided to go big time. New clothes, new clubs, and a call to Enzyte, the effective, reliable way to natural male enhancement. And in just a few short weeks, Bob has a big new swing of confidence, a little well-earned respect, and a very happy partner back at the clubhouse. Free samples of Enzyte now available while supplies last. Just call or visit fordenzyte.com. Enzyte, the once-a-day tablet for natural male enhancement.
Love, 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 love.
Pity
love,
the
love,
human male.
Sex, 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 sex.
love.
Sex.
Love, love, love. Love, 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 love.
Sex.
But every once in a magical while,
Rolling Rock. Love one.
there's something they can both understand. And the chain of life marches gloriously on.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
The Cooper Xeon 2XS Ultra High Performance Tire. Made to perform on the skid pad, the slalom, the track, and in the real world. Cooper tires don't give up a thing.
Update in the Big East. Pittsburgh down in Miami taking on the Hurricanes. Pittsburgh 15-0. Jerron Brown. Nice feed there by Troutman. There's 2 Pitt up 4-0.
But Miami and Darius Rice come right back to an outstanding job of defending home court early on.
Pittsburgh, they're 5-10 all-time down in Miami, but Pittsburgh looking to go 16-0. They're up by 2, 36-34. Let's go back to Wayne and Greg in Iowa City.
All right, thank you very much, fellas. Iowa leading for the first time this afternoon. And they've done it with points in the paint. They now lead that category 14-8. Northwestern had the early returns in that area.
Iowa showing zone again. Hey, even for Northwestern right now, you're down 2. You're still happy with where you are. The most important thing, though, is to get back to what was working for you. Like now, working that clock, taking your time, and getting good shots off of your offense. Patience that time of key.
Second triple of the afternoon for Vukosic. He has 10 points already.
I like Vukosic. I like his versatility. He can hurt you inside and out.
Early show to the arc. Mike Henderson back into the ball game for Iowa. Pierce trying to penetrate, got stopped on the way and fouled. Foul comes up on Mohammed Hashad, his first. That's 8 on the team, so shooting affair. Greg Brunner, Brody Boyd coming back on for Iowa as Hashad talks it over with his coach Bill Carmody. Just over 6 minutes left to go in this first half. For the most part, the pace has been at Northwestern's favor.
I would agree. This young man at the line right now knows how to get fouled. 16 free throw attempts in the win over Purdue recently. He made 13 of them, but he really set a tone getting that ball to the basket inside and forcing his opponents to foul him.
Iowa now 3 of 6 at the free throw line here this afternoon. They came into the conference season dead last in free throw shooting. Again, something that their coach just couldn't believe because, again, he was a great shooter and a great free throw shooter. Parker off the side of the rim there. Reiner back into the lineup for Iowa with the rebound. Henderson, all that quickness. Bank not open there. Bakusic the rebound.
That was a bit of a force that time by Henderson and an easy defensive sequence for Northwestern. They didn't have to work very hard.
Parker on the drive. He's got 9.
You know what Northwestern's doing? They're picking their spots. And they run sometime. Most of the time they work out of their half court. But by having that balance and good shot selection and their decision making, they've got to be happy right now with their play thus far.
Boyd looking for 3. The tip by Bruner inside. Nicely done.
Bruner had established solid low position. When the ball came off, he was right there for the fingertip tap.
Iowa leading big in this category.
It's a big part of their offense right now, the second chance opportunity.
They've got Mike Henderson on a foul off the ball down low on a hole. And that's his first and 6 on the team. We're at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City, Iowa. Nice crowd on hand for this one. Wayne Larrabee along with Greg Kelser. Good to have you with us. Second half of our triple header. Second leg, I should say, of the triple header. The first game, Penn State knocked off Ohio State. And coming up following our game here on many of these stations, it'll be Illinois playing host to Purdue. Duwancic. Nobody stopped him. Took it right down the right side of the lane. And the steal. Hashad to Tim Young.
Wow. Northwestern is impressive right now. And they are responding to the disappointment of a few nights ago in Ann Arbor, Michigan. They are playing right now. They are competitive. They're believing.
Reiner, double team. Good cut by Pierce. Bad pass. Stolen by Hashad. 5 turnovers by Iowa here this afternoon.
You know, Wayne, to a degree, this game and this start even better than last year, because last year jumping out to that 27-11 lead, fool's gold. Here they've worked, they've been steady. There has been no huge barrage. I think they've got to like this a whole lot better.
I think you're right, Greg. It's a very good point. Bakusic inside delivers with the right hand this time. Bakusic finding plenty of room on the block.
He's the best player on the floor right now.
I don't think there's any question about it. 3:54 left to go in this first half. Northwestern has keyed a lot of its offense on the defensive end, and they've made good on it. A 6-0 run by the Wildcats. Duwancic there. There's the steal by Hashad, feeding to Tim Young.
They are creating their own opportunities, easy opportunities off their defense. And we said it before the big game began. In order for Northwestern to have a chance, they've got to be able to defend their paint. I think they're doing a pretty good job of that. And they've got to find a way to score easier baskets and not have to depend exclusively on the 3.
Well, but they have hit some threes, and that certainly helps your confidence. It almost did there for Tim Young.
But you know what? The 3 is almost like the second option. Well, he likes this arena.
Double. Is in the ball game now.
Very nicely done. Taking their time, and most of those 3s are not early on the shot clock. They come after they've moved the ball around and force Iowa to have to rotate and recover defensively.
Tim Young with the quick hands and the steal. Could not finish and then commits the foul on Pierre Pierce. Oh my, double whammy there.
Big time.
Third personal on Tim Young. Whoa, wait a minute. I spoke too soon again. They're going to give Hashad that foul from behind. I thought it was Tim Young going back for the ball who picked it up.
I thought so too. Right now, he's like Teflon Man.
Yes.
It keeps looking like he's getting these fouls. He's picking up that 3rd foul that would certainly put him on the bench, but no, he stays with 2.
Pierce misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and we get a...
I think Tim Young might be believing.
Yes, he is. That's the case. And they're going to, they got the cut doctor working on it right now. We'll take a quick break. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
They say soft drinks need to be prominently displayed. Well, this is fine for other soft drinks. It's not prominent enough for refreshing 7-Up.
Now this should get some attention. Beautiful.
Don't be shy.
Wait till next week when they go on sale.
I'm bringing people in already.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new powered Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Let's go, I've got a lot of sandwiches to make.
Will it never end?
Here's the deal you won't want to miss. 2 Arby's sourdough melts for just $3. With tender oven-roasted beef topped with tangy cheddar. Or roasted ham topped with creamy Swiss cheese. All on toasted sourdough bread. Hurry in and get 2 Arby's sourdough melts for just $3. A deal this good won't last long.
What are you eating today?
WCIU's got your Big Ten college basketball action as the Fighting Illini take on the Northwestern Wildcats. Wednesday night at 7 on WCIU, Channel 26.
Coming up on The King of Queens, Carrie and Doug discover that their new TV and hot tub comes with a curse.
You can't tell, but I'm sweating like a pig right now.
In hot water on The King of Queens.
Tonight at 6 on WCIU. You're watching WCIU, Channel 26, The U.
Mike Gleason and Sean Morris back in the Big Ten studio. Sean, well, Bill may lack depth, but he's got some guys who can play the game.
They're really playing well. They're playing much, much harder, controlling the tempo offensively.
Well, coming up at the half, we'll have highlights of both the earlier Big Ten games, Wisconsin and Penn State, the winners, and we'll update the top 25. Let's go back to Iowa City with Wayne and Greg.
All right, thank you very much, guys. And the cut doctor still working on Tim Young, trying to stop the bleeding. So Northwestern resumes offensively. Iowa in a 2-3 zone.
Iowa's shown zone quite a bit more the last few times, but Northwestern's done a good job of attacking whichever defense they apply.
10 to go on the shot clock now for the Wildcats. Here's Parker. Mohamed Hashad again. Hashad's second triple of the game. He's got 6.
That skip pass that time was great because it made it very tough for Iowa to rotate over and put a hand up on Hashad. Hashad able to knock down his second tray.
9-0 run by the Wildcats, and they lead it by 8.
Keep in mind, Hashad had come into this game having not scored in his last 2. So he's feeling good right now.
Brody Boyd has been struggling from the arc. 1 for 3 today. Hashad stole it from Sonderleiter, who brought it down to his level.
Yep. Hashad's playing well as he's played in a long time.
Oh, absolutely, Greg. You'd have to go back maybe to November.
Right.
Northwestern just spreading it out against that zone. Iowa's not going to come out to the perimeter. But if Hashad keeps hitting triples out there, they'll have to. Tolic on the block, well covered by Sonderleiter. Here's Parker. Sonderleiter cleared out Tolic, and what do we have? It is going to be on Sonderleiter. It's his second personal. Now Iowa over the foul limit. Today's Big Ten game is brought to you by 7-Up and your local 7-Up bottler. Make 7-Up yours. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, it's in college basketball. Is it in you? Wayne Larrabee, Greg Kelser back at Iowa City, Iowa. Ivan Tolic, the third split Croatian native to come to Northwestern, puts in on his first of the line. Tolic, the freshman, of course, Vedran Bakusic, a third-year sophomore, was the first, and the pipeline continues for Bill Carmody.
Look at this. A 10-point lead. Yes, Northwestern controlling the tempo, the pace, and certainly the more confident team out there.
Horner didn't get rid of it. 5-second violation. Nobody came to help him, Greg.
Wow. It's as if Iowa was stunned right now. I mean, they're on the mat and needing someone to lift them up.
9 turnovers for the Hawkeyes in the game already. Under 2 minutes to go first half. How about this? I would say Iowa's playing at Northwestern's pace, but the Wildcats are playing a little faster than they usually do scoring-wise.
I think they're shocked. The Hawkeyes did not expect this. Not from a team that lost by 24 just a few nights ago.
Bakusic. Unforced error there.
I'll give him that one because he's played so well and he's made such good passes. That time trying to go baseline, inside, kicking it back outside, just a little errant with the pass.
Northwestern by 10. The last Iowa points came at 5:19 of the first half.
Iowa's got to find a way to get that ball inside via the dribble penetration. And when they get it inside, they've got to keep it up high and try to convert quickly. You know, Northwestern's been able to recover defensively on a few occasions because Iowa gets the ball inside. They get it deflected by bringing it down. It looks like they're just playing right now with a little bit of confidence lacking.
Davor Dowancic picks up a foul. It's his first. Double foul limit has been surpassed by Northwestern, so everything now for Iowa will be 2 shot fouls down the stretch. But the free throw line, Iowa only 3 of 8 shooting, so their form of the other night, which was so good on 29 of 37, they reverted back now.
And speaking of form, Bruner on the line a moment ago, excellent form on his shot, but he is just a 52% free throw shooter, and that's puzzling.
Does it come down to confidence and rhythm on the free throw line?
Clearly, yes.
Because you're not the first who's pointed out that his form is very good, but the result is not. 10 to go on the shot clock. Seacat looking to move it. Bakusic down to 2 to go. He's stopped by Reiner, who takes it away. Great defensive sequence at the end of that. And now Parker gets it back for Northwestern and calls a timeout.
Oh, what a heads-up play. First the hustle to get back, and then the presence of mind to call the timeout to save the possession.
Greg, there is no way the Iowa Hawkeyes, after having watched Northwestern's game at Michigan on tape, could have expected this from the Wildcats.
This is a different team. This is a team that's playing the game the way they need to play it to have a chance. Look at the hustle there. Parker, little things, folks, little things, and then the presence of mind right there to call the timeout.
And watch this, he'll jump right into your easy chair. There it is, he got the timeout. Great hustle on both ends by Northwestern, and I think really smart offense by Bill Carmody's team. You're right, Greg. They picked their spots to run, most of it coming off of defense, but in the half court, they've taken their time.
You know, Bill Carmody is a good coach, and the Big Ten schedule doesn't give you a whole lot of time to make the necessary adjustments. You got to more or less do it on the run. Obviously, he has gotten into the heads of his team, and he has made them understand the way they need to play, especially on the road, to have a chance. Question is, can they come out and do the same thing in the second half? They've been very good in this half.
Been a drought for Iowa. Almost 5 full minutes since their last field goal. Iowa's last 7 possessions, 1 missed field goal and 6 turnovers. Northwestern winding down the game clock. There's no shot clock involved here. Tony Parker, Bakusic. Oh, sets up Tolich in the block by Bruner. Parker could if it goes, and it very nearly did. Great recovery by Bruner on the block at the end, but the Hawkeyes have some talking to do at halftime. At the end of one half, Northwestern leading Iowa in Iowa City 38-29 to the studio, and Mike Gleason.
All right, thanks a lot, Wayne. Now, how surprising is this, Sean? Northwestern obviously doing a great job controlling the tempo and keeping Iowa out of their game plan.
Well, what Northwestern has done, Wayne, is that they've done a great job of controlling the tempo offensively, and as a result of that, Iowa hasn't been able to exploit their inside presence because they haven't been able to get up and down.
All right, of course, Michigan State opening up at Madison today. Madison open against Indiana. Of course, they blew the Hoosiers out. Michigan State goes up there. Let's head to Madison and update the viewers on what happened in this ballgame. Both teams shooting well. Michigan State off to a great start. It was 9-0 and then 17-5.
Well, you knew Wisconsin was going to answer, and answer they did. Clayton Hansen off the bench knocks down a big 3, which puts the Badgers up by 3 at that point in the ballgame. then 2 of the 13 points for Zach Marley, doing a great job in the absence of Orlando Tucker.
Devin Harris has 21. Now, the first half, though, Wisconsin closed that first half on a 36-14 run. Here's the final numbers now. Tom Izzo's Spartans, not only did they face that grueling preseason schedule, they open up the Big Ten on the short end, 77-64, as Michigan State 13-13 from the stripe, but the Badgers 35 trips to the free throw line at home, but they only turned the basketball over 11 times.
And that's what Wisconsin has done so well throughout the course of the season. They lead the conference in assist-to-turnover ratio. They locked down defensively when they needed to against a potentially explosive Michigan State squad. They post their 22nd consecutive win in the Kohl Center.
And we lifted the curtain on today's triple header with a trip to State College for Penn State and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. And the Buckeyes having a tough time holding on to the rock, Sean. Radinovich had 16 points, but loses the handle there. Now watch this. J.J. Sullinger throws it into traffic and just basically gives it away.
But the real story offensively for Penn State, you would think Jan Jagla, but you would be incorrect, my friend. It's the backcourt, the freshman backcourt. Marlon Smith with a career high, and Ben Loon did a fantastic job of running the show for Penn State.
My friend, you were talking to me, right? That is, son, your friend? Okay, 64-47. You look at this, Marlon Smith, 23, Jagla, 12, Aaron Johnson, 12. And the bottom line, though, the Nittany Lions and Ed DeChellis, they're 2-0. And they're heading for East Lansing, Michigan, and their confidence has to be sky high right now.
Well, it really does. And what they're doing is playing with just a great deal of passion, particularly on the defensive end of the floor, Mike. They've done a fantastic job of taking away the strengths of their opponents in the first 2 ball games. It's paid dividends.
So Penn State going to East Lansing on Wednesday with a perfect Big Ten slate. Speaking of perfect in the ACC, Wake Forest shoots for their 11-0 start. Their story is waiting on deck. They're home in Winston-Salem taking on the Clemson Tigers today. And we played 20 minutes of basketball in Iowa City. It's game 2 of the triple header. And look at this, folks. Northwestern on top of Iowa in Iowa City. It's 38-29. The Big Ten halftime report continues with more after this.
Back in 1927, we pumped our first gallon of Phillips 66, and word got around we made pretty good gasoline. Our idea was treat customers like neighbors, because they are, and make sure that Phillips 66 gasoline is always good enough to keep their cars coming back week after week. It was a good idea 75 years ago, and you know what? It still is. Year after year, mile after mile, and for all the miles to come, Phillips 66.
What are you holding now? A six-pack. A six-pack? Brilliant! What's it do?
Well, I figured out how to carry 6 beers at the same time.
Carry 6 beers at the same time? Brilliant! Let's drink them.
You know, I've been thinking, it might not be the smartest idea to drink 6 beers at the same time.
Don't drink 6 beers at the same time. Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Drink Guinness Draft straight from the bottle, and always enjoy it responsibly.
Brilliant!
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produce higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses and the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new powered Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
By T.J. Parker.
Highlights presented by General Motors.
Wayne, here's a stat. 7 times Northwestern came down and took 25 seconds off that shot clock before taking a shot, and they scored 12 points doing that. So the patience has been key. Let's see if they can continue it.
Tolich from the outside got a good look. Here comes Pierre Pierce. Bruner left it short. And on the rebound battle, got a foul on Jared Reiner. Second personal on Reiner. Take a look at it once again. Were they taking 15 seconds or more off the clock? under 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. So you're talking about more than 20 seconds of possession time. Two things happened in that regard. Number one, you shorten the game, especially if you're playing with a short bench. That's good. The other thing is they're converting, and there's the back cut, a shot. Great look from Tolich.
Northwestern has a group of guys who can pass the ball. More importantly, catch the basketball. That was a beautiful catch and a nice finish by Hashad, and another steal now by Northwestern.
Opening minute, second half, and Iowa still looks a bit scrambled as they did at the end of the first half. You know, they went the last 5 minutes plus in that first half, 5:19, without scoring a field goal. They only scored 1 point down the stretch in the first half to the Hawkeyes. The Kusic. 8 to go on the shot clock. Here's Parker.
Wow. They're putting on a clinic right now.
They are getting quality looks. Even when they miss, Greg, you say, well, that was a good shot.
Yep. And with each success, that confidence rises. Look at them on defense. Scrappy. They got a little swagger going right now.
Yes, they do. Pierce, oh, and that was kicked by Hashad to reload the shot clock. The lead for Northwestern is easily their biggest of the game. They come out and score the first 4 points of the second half. Brody Boyd looking to deal on his shot, throws it away to Parker. Parker in on Horner. Parker gets it back. Oh, nice look to Hashad.
Wow. They are getting it done. This is the best I've seen Northwestern play since the days of Evan Eschmeyer.
You might even have to go back to Sean Morris. Look at this. Parker gives it up for 2. It's a 15-1 run.
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produce higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.
This is a crucial moment for the male. Cohabitation. It is a show of commitment. It is an indication of responsibility.
Hey.
It is love.
Rolling Rock beer, grab a rock.
Advance Auto Parts. No matter when or where.
There's nothing worse than being ready to go and your car won't. So we're ready in advance. Ready with the right equipment, the right people, and the right parts. All at ready to go, low prices. And if it's your battery, we'll install it for free. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price. We're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Cars and trucks, 1,000 winners nationwide, one hot button. It's the widest selection of cars and trucks on the planet. For a chance to win, go to a participating GM dealer, push the OnStar button, and play the game. Have you pushed the GM hot button yet?
9 steals this afternoon have fueled Northwestern's 15-point lead at this stage of the game. And it's been a while since Northwestern has won in these environs. You'd have to go back to 1994. And they don't get it done very often here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Steve Alford and company has their work cut out for them, even at home. Pierre Pierce, and there's Horner to the outside. For 3, and I mean a deep 3. He took that one from Mason City.
Yes, he did. An excellent salvo coming out of the timeout. Fortunate thing for Iowa, they got so much time, so there's really no cause for panic. You just got to turn it up a little bit better on the defensive end, take care of the basketball, and get good shots.
Young inside, in among the trees. Parker shot wouldn't stay down. Pierre Pierce. Deep three, Pierce, ring it up.
Hey, look out. The poise of Northwestern will be tested now, because after those 2 threes, and this crowd's now back in it, you got some belief on the side of the Iowa Hawkeyes. And now let's see how Northwestern responds.
30-second timeout called by Northwestern. Pierre Pierce said to me at practice yesterday, I congratulated him on the big win over Purdue, the nationally ranked Boilermakers, and he said, yeah, that's great, but it's all for naught if we don't win tomorrow, meaning today, against Northwestern at home.
He understands.
Yeah.
He understands that very point you mentioned in the first half about if you get those first 2 conference games at home, you better win them.
Yes. The Hawkeyes still trailing 44-35, but have turned things around with a couple of triples, one by Jeff Horner and the other by Pierre Pierce.
The one by Horner, man, could have almost given him 4. He was that deep.
The Hawkeyes, who were 0 for 5 from the arc the other night against Purdue, are now 5 of 9 here today. And now the crowd is back into it.
Best thing to do in a situation like this, if you're Northwestern, move the ball, take time off the clock, try to work and get a high percentage shot so you can immediately give the crowd reason for concern again.
Turnover, Northwestern, but Kusic could not handle that pass.
That's not the way you want to come out of a timeout, when you hope everybody's on the same page. And now a chance to extend their 6-0 run. Here comes Iowa.
Bill Carmody really upset on the Northwestern bench. Very concerned about the way this game has turned all of a sudden. And the foul is going to be on Kusic for holding Reiner inside.
Well, Wayne, I think what you can ill afford if you're Northwestern, you know that Iowa's going to make a run. You expect that, but you can't let them erase this lead in a short amount of time.
Nearly an unforced error there, and the save by Pierce keeps the possession alive for Iowa. You almost got Pierre Pierce in your lap.
I did.
That's why you pay the big bucks to be at these seats. Pierce. Rebound batted. Reiner latches on. Blocked from behind, and a foul coming up. It looked like Kusic got a clean block, and the foul was from behind.
In the first half, it was Iowa getting 11 second chance points. Don't forget that that was a huge part of their game in that first half. And now here in the second half, again, they're on the boards. Keeping it alive is Bruner, getting it underneath the Reiner, and Reiner with a chance to cut the lead some more.
Foul was on Ivan Tolic, his third. Iowa on a 7-0 run at the moment.
On pitch. Bucks out, Ivan.
Make it 8-0. Jared Reiner with just 4 points so far this afternoon.
Hey, if you're Northwestern, you got to hope seeds of doubt aren't starting to surface.
The steal by Horner. The feed, Bruner running the floor.
Wow. Hey, give Iowa credit. They're making their breaks. It is them who are playing defense now. It is the Hawkeyes who are getting early opportunities in transition. And you got a Northwestern club that's reeling.
Young looking to slash, taken away by Pierce.
They need a basket in the worst way. Usually you say that about a team that's behind.
But Kusic delivers big with a triple. Ring it up. He's got 15. That ends a 10-0 Iowa run.
He just made 10,000 people take a seat.
Yeah. Horner. Northwestern appeared in their trapping in the backcourt, had it knocked away. Here comes Parker. The feed, a shot, good catch and finish.
Hey, Northwestern has answered my question. How will they respond? How about 5 quick points of their own and the last 2 coming off defense?
The lead again is 10 for Northwestern. Horner. Brody Boyd straight on 3. Nope. Pierre Pierce.
That might go. Wow, strength that time by Pierce. the offensive glass once again. Iowa taking advantage of that, and they need to continue to do that. That is one area where Northwestern just seems ill-equipped to handle them.
Mashad's third personal foul. Already 3 team fouls on Bill Carmody's crew. And Pierre Pierce at the line. Steve Alford, when he talked of him yesterday, mentioned how this is one of the most competitive guards he's had in his program. And strong, very strong with the ball.
Yeah, you saw it right there.
Exactly, just as you pointed out. Tolich leaves, and they make a change as Dewancic comes back on for Northwestern. Iowa now is hitting its free throws. But this was a big turn of the tide, at least for the moment. Bakusic ending Iowa's run with a triple and then the steal by Parker makes it a 5-0 run at Northwestern.
Good gas, good neighbors. Citgo, we know you.
What's that you have?
A bottle.
A bottle? Brilliant! What do you do with it?
Well, I have found a way to fill it with authentic Guinness draft.
And you drink it straight from the bottle no matter where you are?
Yes.
Drink beer straight from a bottle? Brilliant! What else you working on?
You know the bread we use for our sandwiches?
Yes.
I've concocted a machine that slices it for you.
Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Guinness draft straight from the bottle. Enjoy it everywhere.
Brilliant!
Ask me no question, I'll tell you no lie. Ask me no question, I'll be your I'll be you.
$1,000 cars and trucks, 1,000 winners nationwide, one hot button. It's the widest selection of cars and trucks on the planet. For a chance to win, go to a participating GM dealer, push the OnStar button, and play the game. Have you pushed the GM hot button yet?
Wayne Larrabee, Greg Kelser, welcome back to Iowa City, Iowa. Northwestern trying to stem the tide. Iowa trying to make its run. They got a quick 10-0 run going, and then Northwestern answered with 5 of its own. And right now we sit with an 8-point ball game in favor of the Wildcats. There's the shooting, very good for Northwestern, which has struggled from the floor thus far this season.
Wayne, I have to admit, I'm surprised by Northwestern's play thus far in this game. I would have been even more surprised if Iowa hadn't challenged and made a run here. In
oh, absolutely. No question. There is at least 2 more runs left in Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
At least. Dewancic. You mentioned a moment ago that Northwestern almost has a quiet confidence, even a swagger defensively about him. Parker missing there. And then the foul committed by T.J. Parker, his second personal, 4th on the team. Northwestern early on in this ball game seemed to have a pretty good feel for what they wanted to do and got off to a good start, and of course built the lead at halftime. And the Iowa run a few minutes ago maybe shook that a little bit, but what I keep thinking of is a team that can't stand too much of that kind of thing, because there's a nice tip inside by Dewancic. Here comes Parker on the run. And he throws it away. Pierce intercepts.
Good hustle getting back by Pierce. But how many balls has Parker got his hands on today?
Bruner looking to slash. No bucket. Offensive foul.
In a situation like this, if you can go straight up you get the basket, maybe you draw the foul, but when you float, Wayne, you're a little bit out of control. If the defender gets himself there and set, that is a good call.
Jatim Young took the charge, and Davor Dowancic cashes in for Northwestern.
He looked like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on that
I haven't
shot.
seen one of those in a long time, have you?
Not in college basketball. No, it's a lost art.
Young, another Iowa turnover. Their 17th of the day. Hashad, no, but a foul on the rebound, and it's against Jatim Young. Young's third personal. My point being, and what I kept thinking when you talked about that was that, well, adversity. Once adversity hits with a team that has had such little success as Northwestern has, not just this season, but over the course of the last several years, that sometimes can shake a team really quickly. But Northwestern has been resolute thus far. Almost 7 minutes gone by, second half.
That's a good point.
Calling a blocking foul here on Vukosic. It's his third personal. Already 17 fouls now by my count on Northwestern. Unforced error there.
Oh,
Iowa turnover. They got at least 18.
Oh, that hurts. That is a killer when you're trying to come back.
Wildcats with 6 team fouls, and there's the turnover story. Dowancic wheels with another hook shot, not that time. Only an ATM will deliver on that kind of a shot this late in the day on Saturday. Knocked out of bounds by his shot. Good hustle to deny the pass to the wingman, Jeff Horner.
Hey, how about for Northwestern, your best player and leading scorer, Jatim Young, having for him a subpar game, but you're still in control. And that's what I talked about in the very beginning when I said, hey, he'll need team help from his teammates, and he's getting it thus far.
Sure is. Just 5 points for Jatim Young. They've been averaging 19 points a game, third in the Big Ten. Pierre Pierce for three, ring it up. 14 for Pierce. Iowa back to within 7. And the steal by Pierce. And he stepped out of bounds.
Pierce is pumped right now. Nearly got that takeaway.
You talk about a competitor. That's the first thing Steve Ballford said. I asked him, Pierre Pierce, competitor. Watch him here.
Jatim Young losing his concentration and focus there a moment. Just barely stepping on that sideline.
Yeah, the replay never lies, does it? Here's Parker. Dowancic for 3, and Northwestern, when they have needed a big shot, they've gotten them in this half from Vukosic and now Dowancic.
That was right in front of us, and it looked good the moment it left his hands. But what about Parker setting it up? His dribble penetration caused 2 defenders to have to come over and address him. He spoon-fed Dowancic that time.
Brody Boyd's shot does not look good today.
T.J. Parker has played a very sound basketball game from the point guard spot. He has been under control. He has been solid defensively. He is passing the ball well. He is certainly a good floor leader today.
A shot. In among the trees, and one! My goodness!
Wayne, I don't know about your notes, but my notes said that Hashad was in a slump, not playing well and lacking confidence.
Well, you would think we compared notes, which we didn't. But mine said the same thing. He was the guy playing without confidence in that backcourt for Northwestern, but boy, has he played well here today. Look at that move down low.
Absolutely, in a crowd, and now a chance to kick the lead. To 13, it stays at 12, but there's the 10.
Jatim Young, offensive rebound bucket, his first 2 points of the second half.
Well, I'll say they've weathered Iowa's charge, huh?
At least this charge, yes.
Yeah.
Still over 11 minutes to go.
Wow.
Pierce stripped away from Sonderleiter. I think they got his shot on that foul. I'm not sure.
I think it's on Parker.
No, they got
behind.
Parker. You're right. Parker from behind, his third personal. He and Hashad now have to be somewhat careful. They have 3 personal fouls, as does Vukosic and Jatim Young.
I want to go back to our keys to the game just for a moment. We said in order to be successful, Northwestern had to have an emergence or a re-emergence by their guards.
Yep.
They have.
Yep.
We said they needed to be tough inside, especially on the defensive end. They have. And as a result, they're leading right now, 13.
Sonderleiter will have another at the line. There are the keys, right there.
And we're hearing big time from Parker and Rashad, and the defense in the paint area has caused Iowa some issues.
Sonderleiter puts in on the second free throw, and we get a timeout. The guards, Parker with 11, Rashad with 12, have led Northwestern to the lead.
Love, 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 love.
Pity
love,
the
love,
human male.
Sex.
love.
Sex.
Love, love, love. Love, 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 love.
Sex.
But every once in a magical while,
Rolling Rock. Love one.
there's something they can both understand. And the chain of life marches gloriously on.
Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
The Cooper Xeon 2XS Ultra High Performance Tire. Made to perform on the skid pad, the slalom, the track, and in the real world. Cooper tires don't give up a thing.
There's the hard way to shop for new window treatments, and there's the Empire Today way. Hard way. Or the shop right at home, have your window treatments installed next day. How easy can it get? Empire way. Hard way. Or the way that saves you 50%. Plus, no payments for a year. You'll even get a free gift. Seems like Empire's the only way to go.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Weeknights on WCIU. It's good to be the king. It's doubly good.
Double.
Watch 2
Times 2.
2 King of Queens at 9 and 10.
2 episodes.
Hang with a new and different group of friends.
Your friends are here.
It's good to watch the king of Queens.
Always a crowd pleaser.
Weeknights at 9 and 10 on WCIU Channel 26, the U.
Pittsburgh. They've won 15. 11 of those 15 have scored under 60 points. Guillermo Diaz, he scores. Miami shooting 55%. And right now the Hurricanes are beating the Panthers. Pittsburgh is 15-0. It's 60-59. 2:25 to go. Let's go back to Wayne and Greg at Iowa City.
Boy, it's hard to stay undefeated through January, isn't it? When you get to conference play, things tighten considerably. By the way, I hope Mike Gleason, Sean Morris is getting studio exposure there, and I don't know what he'll be like after the bright lights of the studio. Some of us have to work with him on a Wednesday in Evanston, and I'm a little concerned about that. They've done a great job in the studio today. Kusic out of control. Northwestern very patient again. Most of their possessions have come with shots after 15 seconds to go on the shot clock, and Kusic missing there, but a quality look.
You want to make sure you continue to get quality looks the remainder of this game if you're Northwestern. Do that, and you have to feel confident that you can get out of here with a win. Taking care of the basketball is important, too, and Northwestern has done a good job of that.
They've made some shots offensively, but this is where I've been more impressed with them, is on the defensive end. Northwestern has been solid right from the get-go.
That was not a good shot that time by Pierce. He shot that as an afterthought. And really no movement off the ball by his teammates. Not a good possession for Iowa.
I think he wanted to move the ball. You're right. Yeah. DeWanchic's quick turn. Oh, the nice look. DeWanchic in one. My goodness. The passing has been spectacular at times for Northwestern. 30 points in the paint.
Yeah, I am so impressed with T.J. Parker's play today. Here he gets into the lane. Wayne, did you see that? He drew 3 defenders. 3 white shirts surrounding him, had the presence of mind to drop it off to an open teammate, DeWanchic, and he gets a 3-point chance and completes it.
10 points now for DeWanchic. That foul was on Greg Bruner. It was his 3rd.
Hey, they're back up to their largest lead of the game.
Coming up on the halfway mark, second half. Sonderleiter, nice look, Bruner inside. Hashad with 3 personal fouls, did not challenge, and that was a wise choice. here's where what Bill Carmody has preached to his team about long offensive possessions. Now this is where it really comes into play. If he can shorten this game, we're under 10 minutes to go. Dewanchich on the cut. Well done, Hashad on the pass.
That's a killer. It took 30 seconds off the clock and still scored. Not to the advantage of Iowa.
Sonderleiter. Corner. Inside Pierre Pierce. 16 for Pierce. Some contact down low, but no foul.
Good sequence by Iowa. But you know what? Soon time will become a factor. So now they need to get solid down here. No more breakdowns. They've got to force, even if Northwestern chooses to take time off the clock, you force them into one tough shot, and then you collect the defensive rebound. That's what Iowa must do the rest of the way.
Northwestern, 19 assists on 19 field goals made here this afternoon. Parker, deep three. Not that time. Sonderleiter, the rebound, was crashed into by Vakusic, his fourth. 8 on the team. Take a look at our assist leaders, brought to you by Cargill. Collaborate, create, and succeed. Darren Williams has taken over that Illinois team. It's his team. Dee Brown is still a factor, obviously a big factor.
Yeah,
Devin Harris having a tremendous year at Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of assists from your starting guards, though. My goodness. When you got Sonderleiter on the line for Iowa, he's a 59% free throw shooter, needs to cash in on these opportunities. Margin of error now starting to shrink for Iowa.
Down to 8:41 to go in the game. I mentioned the assist total for Northwestern. 19 field goals, 19 assists, an unusually high number even for them. They came into this week 72.2% assist to field goal ratio, which is extremely high under normal circumstances.
Well, that will account for why they're shooting such a nice percentage in this game. They're moving the ball, they're helping each other get solid looks.
Northwestern second in the nation in assist to field goal ratio, second to Air Force. Iowa in the zone. Northwestern leading by 11. Skip pass, Hashad for 3. That looked good too.
It sure did.
Here comes Horner. Do the Hawkeyes have another run left in them? Sonderleiter finds Horner out of the corner. Long rebound to Sonderleiter, and they reload the shot clock. Horner again, opposite side. Bruner up high with Jatim Young, and a held ball situation. It'll stay with the Hawkeyes this time.
Iowa pounding that glass, not hitting their shots, but giving themselves second and third opportunities.
And they're going to have to pound the glass. You're right, because they trail 63-52.
In Italy, you'll find Florence. In this case, Florence is a cow. And important because Italian cheesemakers wanted to make the best Parmesan and more of it. Knowing that cows fed certain feeds produce higher yields of Parmesan, Cargill developed special feeds and a supply chain so the cheesemakers get just the right milk. Now Florence, the cow, delivers lots of quality Parmesan to Florence, the city. This is how Cargill works with customers.